Today, I'm excited to show you the top 5 game-changing tools that I've recently acquired for my wood shop. Now, these 5 tools aren't just about making you a faster woodworker. They will do that, but they will also elevate your precision, your efficiency, and your overall craftsmanship to a level that you've only imagined. And the first tool to do that are digital calipers by Clockwise Tools. These are my favorite by far that I've used. I used to buy them from Harbor Freight. They were the plastic ones. They were cheap. They'd break. These are heavy duty compared to those. They are digital, so you don't have to worry about reading a dial, which can be confusing and hard to read at angles. These run off of a standard watch battery, which is very convenient. The battery life is fantastic. I have had this tool for over a year, and I've only had to change the battery in it once. Now, I found myself using this way more often than I thought I would when I initially got them. They're extremely useful, and the thing I use them most for is comparing bolts to drill bits. All right, so we get a measurement of our bolt right here. See a digital readout in case we need to know what that number is, and then we can just take our drill bits and check the size with the digital calipers. Once it clears the calipers, you know you have the right size bit. You didn't have to try to scrounge around looking for the etchings on the side of the bit in order to match that number. But these are also great for measuring the thicknesses of thin, small parts, for measuring the depths of holes when you're drilling. If you're resetting a bolt or something down into a piece of wood or a screw, you need it to be a specific depth. These have this little prong here on the end that come out. You can easily check depths. So that is a fantastic tool, and I highly recommend it. Number 2 is going to be a flush cut hole saw. Now, I recently did a video review where I reviewed 3 different ones of these. You can check that out if you'd like. However, the Irwin here is my favorite. And ever since I've got it, I've been using it for a lot of things. And one of the big reasons I like it is because the blade is so thin, it leaves a very, very thin kerf. So you don't have to worry about taking out large amounts of material just in your cut. I know there's been times when I've had to remove just a little bit of material from a piece if I measured it wrong or whatever, and I need to just shave off a little bit. You can either use a chisel, or you could try to run it through a bandsaw or a table saw, but something like this is a much safer and better option. It's very easy to control. You can easily follow the lines on your work. It's extremely thin, so it doesn't take away a bunch of material, so you can then remove small amounts of wood. It's extremely useful, and I don't know how I did woodworking without it, if I'm honest. All right, so tool number 3 is this right here. It is double-sided tape. Now, this particular tape is Scotch carpet tape. It works fantastic. It's super sticky. You don't ever have to worry about it coming loose unless you want it to. I use this all the time on my planer sled in order to hold boards down if they're smooth enough as I pass them through and to joint a top face. You can use it to temporarily attach 2 pieces together if you need to drill through and you need a precise alignment. Drill through, goes right through the tape. It holds the pieces in place, no clamps necessary. This is fantastic stuff, and I use it all the time. We're almost to our last item, which is by far my favorite, but first we're going to talk about these drill bit collars by PowerTech. Now, if you guys are not familiar with drill bit collars, they're very simple. They go onto a drill bit, and then you just turn this set screw down and tighten it up in order to get a solid stop on your drill bit. That way, if you're drilling holes to a specific depth, you cannot over drill. It's a fantastic tool, and I wish I would have got it sooner. These are very solid. They have very good grip on the drill bits. I have never had issues with them slipping on the bit, which is very important if you're trying to drill repeatable holes to the same depth on multiple pieces. This is quick, it's easy, it's efficient, and it's far and away better than using the painter's tape trick that a lot of people do. Now, this PowerTech set comes with 7 different sizes, as you can see on this card here. It goes from 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. I will have a link down in the description if you guys want to pick up a set for yourselves, which I highly recommend. All right, now the very last tool I'm going to show you today, and by far my favorite, is this Klein Digital Angle Finder. It is fantastic, and I cannot believe I worked without it for so long. It is model 935DAG if you're interested. What this does is it allows you to turn it on, put it on a surface, a reference surface, for example, the bed of my miter saw. You hit the 0 button, it zeroes out, and then you can take it and put it on your blade, and you can know if you are perfectly 90 degrees on your saw. In this case, it's 89.8, so I know I need to adjust this. Now, before I got that, what I would use is a simple square like this, and then you would have to hold it up. To me, that looks square. I can't tell if my eyes 0.2 of a degree, but with this Klein Digital Angle Finder, you can. Now, this is what I find myself using this for the most often. Put it on your table saw, zero it out, and then you can take it off put it on your blade, and then you can easily dial it into a perfect 90 if it is not already there. And then of course you can use it to get really precise and accurate angles. For example, I don't think 81 degrees is marked on my angle finder on the table saw. And then of course, need to bring it back. It is super duper simple to get the same precise angle every single time. Right there. Perfect 90 degrees. And those are my 5 favorite tools that I use all the time. If you enjoyed this video, check out this one right here. I think you will like it as well.